our Q&A weekly webinar call. We're going to get started here in just one moment, but before we do, if you'll be so kind as to confirm that you can both hear my voice as well as see my screen, which should say VooPlayer Q&A on it, and then we can get started. Thank you very much. Like we're getting some confirmations that uh, audio is good. But still didn't get a confirmation for video, but assuming that's good as well, we can dive right into it. So my name is Peter. I am VooPlayer's product manager, and we are holding these weekly sessions in order to answer, as the name of the webinar indicates, any questions that you as users may have. Also, to provide training on any advanced use cases of utilizing video in your businesses, or explaining some VooPlayer features in depth, or just some mechanisms behind the scenes about how VooPlayer works to share deeper understanding. Also to gather any sort of feedback, criticisms, ideas, suggestions on how we can continue improving VooPlayer and adding value to you through our product. And also to, of course, showcase the progress that we are making so that you are up to date with all of the latest and greatest that VooPlayer has to offer. With that in mind, if you are new to these webinars and uh, can't make it every week, you are always able to check on the weekly replays of the webinar on our YouTube channel, as well as on our Facebook group, both links which I've shared in the chat. And also, if at any time you have one of those suggestions, ideas, or comments for improvements, or are curious about the progress statuses of upcoming modules, features, and services offered within VooPlayer, from within the application, you can just click over here on documentation and support, and there click on submit and vote on new ideas. That's going to bring you to our ideas portal, where you're able to see stuff that we are currently working on, stuff that we are considering doing / mapping on our roadmap, as well as stuff that we've been releasing for use for everybody. So that ideas portal is available directly from the application, just by clicking on documentation and support and submit and vote on new ideas. I'm just going to share a link to that as well. The format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. So at any time that you have a question, or if you came prepared with any questions, now would be a good time just to start dropping them in the chat box in which you are typing right now, and that way we can start answering them in the order that they come in. I think I have covered everything with regards to the housekeeping notes and sort of the admin stuff. Let me just go back, see. Okay. Louis said, thanks for getting the videos uploaded to the YouTube channel much more quickly. Yep. Thanks for bringing it to our attention that the last, or I think the week before the last, wasn't updated. What happened to the monthly blog updates? Good question. Short answer is we are solely focused on developing new funnels that we don't have that much new to share with regards to the progress updates. We should be keeping a more detailed log of all of the smaller bugs and fixes which are being released to production on several times a week. But aside from that, there's not no newsworthy items to put on those monthly blog releases. So more or less, we are now scheduling them for 2 months or whenever we get the update worth creating an entire post about. For example, any update on the play button showing a rectangular area rather than the default with, I think it was the traditional theme. No updates on that. That's been logged as a bug and it's sitting somewhere in queue. If don't hold me to it. It might be resolved, but the last time I checked, which was I think a couple of days ago, that was still not resolved. So that's going to be worked on when it gets to its queue. It carries somewhat low priority with that issue does. All right, cool. Oh, one more question. Any news on subtitles customization on creators side? I'd like to set a subtitles design as default so people see what I want them to see in terms of font, color, etc. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's been released. Don't hold me to it. Let's take if memory serves me right, I think that was released a couple of months ago. I can't do that on a Vimeo video. I need to do that on a WooPlayer uploaded video. Let's do the resolutions testing, for example. That's under advanced options and subtitles and captions. And you can here set the default style, I believe. Yeah, so you can set the default style, and there you can choose the size of the font, the subtitle color, as well as the subtitle background for all of the text tracks which you are adding to the video. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I think the feedback for that originated maybe even from you, Lewis, or from somebody else on the webinar, and that's been included months ago, not even 2 months ago. I think someone longer than that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was talked about um, in the blog updates. Sorry. Oh, so that was from Alex. I thought that was from Lewis. Lewis had a series of questions, and I just thought he was continuing on. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, that's released. Looking forward. Do test it out. I don't know if you were on the webinars when that was original request, and that's why you were kind of checking in on the progress on that. But if so, do test it out. We're always curious to keep improving it. Based on further feedback. Rick is saying, any plans to use Wasabi for storage? No plans, considering that we are unaware of what Wasabi is. Wasabi storage should probably be my query. Wasabi Hot Cloud Storage is an enterprise class, tier free, instantly available, and allows you to store infinite amount of data affordably. Wasabi provides a S3 compliant interface to use with. So this is probably block storage, right? 1/5 of the price, up to 6 times the speed of Amazon S3. Uh, I'm trying to figure out who's behind these guys. Wasabi Technologies. Who's running this thing? About. Our mission, why we matter. David Friend. I'm trying to figure out who's I'm surprised that I haven't heard about them yet because it looks too good to be true, just by first glance. So is the question with regards to, are we planning on providing storage for it by supporting it as a hybrid host provider, or let's see, how you hear about us podcast, other, where Google Player webinar, start your free trial. Already a subscriber? No. Thank you. Thanks for signing up for a free trial. Please check your email for a confirmation link. Oh, geez. Let me do that on my phone. What I wanted to do is see why it wouldn't already be supported, because if it is just a cloud storage system that you are able to store videos on, then I see no reason as to why it already wouldn't be supported. Or was the question on hybrid host provider question mark? Yeah, so for example, let me get the docs up and I'll share this link. Hybrid host, benefits of hybrid hosting. So for example, you can use currently basically anything, but from the well-tested environments and storage providers. You can use YouTube videos, you can use Vimeo videos, you can use video files hosted on Amazon S3, on Amazon CloudFront, on pCloud, on Cloud App, on Dropbox, on Google Drive, on Microsoft OneDrive, files hosted on Facebook, Publitio, whatever that is, and basically any resource where you're able to store a video file and provide a publicly accessible link to that file, that storage is supported completely. So, sorry, I'm just completing the registration for Wasabi on my phone right now. So any type of a storage where you're able to have a file provided, and let me just create a password here. Give me just 1 second. In hopes of them not requiring crazy secure passwords. Bucket name, there we go. All right, I think I created my account. Looks like you don't have any storage buckets yet. So let's create a bucket. Bucket name is going to be okay, and that's going to be in US East 1. CDN wise, not to enable bucket versioning, enable suspend versioning, suspend logging. All right, fair enough. Create a bucket. Let's create a bucket. All right, so I think we created a bucket. So I can now upload a file to here somehow. Let me just double check. So I come here and start uploading files. And let me just grab one file from my computer, a small one just to test that out. So videos. I'll grab the 1 megabyte one just because it's the quickest to work with. So start upload. Is it done? Yeah, it's done. So here we have this file which has this path. Public use of objects is not allowed by default for trial accounts. All right. So basically, if I wasn't on the trial version, I assume I would be able to grab that path and not that path, this path. I would be able to grab this path and I would be able to come into VooPlayer and then come here to create a new video, and I'll be able to add it by URL. But assuming that I'm unable to use those files publicly because I'm on a trial account, then I'm assuming this would work on any paid Wasabi account. Hopefully that answers that question in short. Louis is saying, does the rewind and jump icon always show 10 even when you change the increments? Yes, it does. A bit too difficult to create an icon which works in a way that you're able to specify a number shown on the icon. Any thoughts on that? Is that too confusing? Do you always assume that you're going to be jumping by 10? Is that sort of mystery meat, wrongful labeling of that? No, it's always going to say, I think it's actually, let me just look at the library really quick. So these are the icons which are available within WooPlayer. And if I'm no 10, yeah, so these are those two icons. So forward 10 and replay 10. Forward. Fast forward. We could do something like fast forwarding, but I guess that would be somewhat more confusing. Skip next, skip previous. That kind of leads you to think that there are some sort of chapter markers, I think. I don't know. I think as far as the icons go, these are pretty... Where did I lose them? These two are, I think, the best option that we have currently, or sorry, forward 10 and rewind 10 for communicating what we want to do with those icons. Somewhere down the road, if it turns out that there's that much value in that, we could invest additional efforts into creating an icon which would dynamically display the number of the seconds that are specified in the interval itself, or rather in the increment. So could be misleading. Yeah, I think I've heard feedback similar to that a couple of times previously, that hey, I'm skipping ahead 5 seconds and back 5 seconds, but the icon says 10. It's just confusing. So I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. I'll certainly note that as a feedback point, but I would almost like it if I could have this icon without any numbers at all. Let's just see, arrow. Circle. I don't know. I would. We would have to find a different icon, but for now, I don't think it's too confusing. At least not for now. Maybe the label icon as skip, but it's not skip. It's or is it skip? It is skip. So we're talking about the skip and rewind icons, right? Yeah. Or jump. Maybe. Let me see. I think we can use this guy, like run forward, and then we can turn him around for backwards, so he can run forward and backwards. I think that could be a neat solution for this. I don't know. Too petty for diving into finding the right icon at this time. And I'll just note the feedback for the icon being somewhat confusing, and then if the design efforts pan out to be valuable in recreating that icon, then we'll definitely do that. All right, Jamie had a question on any way to do a video preview like Wistia does now. By
With video preview, I'm assuming you mean a sort of a GIF preview of the video. So, for example, let's do the bunny one. I think that one's the clearest one. So bunny. So if you come, just so we're on the same page. So if you're on the dashboard, or in the video itself, and you click on the publish options, you have the embed option, you have the email preview, you have the share link, and you have the pop-up embed. Those are sort of your publish options, and the email preview, as you can see, generates a, and you can do anything you want. You can say, give me, I don't know how long this video is, but if it's not too long, I can say, give me from second 3 and have this preview last for 2 seconds, for example. And then you can sort of manipulate the outcome that you're going to get with that GIF. So that's, now I have sort of a different animation behind that, and you can use that GIF, or you can copy the HTML code for that and paste it in your emails, or paste them directly on your sites as a link to WooPlayer videos. Good thing which should be noted here is that you can only generate email previews for videos which are uploaded to WooPlayer. You cannot generate email previews for videos which are, for example, hosted on Vimeo, YouTube, Facebook, etc. Actually, take that back. For example, on Vimeo, you can, for like videos which are hosted on Amazon and OneDrive and Dropbox, etc. You can actually create. I think you cannot only you only can create videos for YouTube links and Facebook links, and I think we support Instagram as well. So give me just 1 second, please. So Wistia now has the option where instead of a GIF, it's actual video that keeps looping. There's something similar to that we have in work. Where Wistia previews, I think Jamie means this. Product updates, April product update. Let's take a look at it. Add an email collector to your videos, turn on light mode for a different look, set a custom font for your channel, show viewers what's up next. Is that what we're did I miss anything? Are we talking about the email previews with, as in like next video, or something else? Did I miss, am I missing something? Turn on light mode. All right, that's not that. Set a custom font. No. Add an email collector. Add an email collector to your videos. Maybe that. As marketers, we know that being able to generate leads from your videos can be super important now. You can gate your videos and send qualified leads directly to your email lists and CRMs on your very own VCR channel. Blah 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 blah. I don't think this has anything to do with the video preview. Uh, Top video, the video at the top of the page. All right, let's take a look at it. Oh, we're talking about this. Oh, let's take a look at that. I see what you're talking about. I was reading the content, thinking that it was in the content itself. Let's see what's going on there. Up, up, up. Nope, 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 nope. Curious just to see what we have there. You have to be here somewhere. And delete element. Sorry, guys. I'm just curious about figuring out where this is actually playing from. Yeah. I'm not sure this is an actual video. If all right, no, wasn't it? I don't think it's here either. Nope. I don't think it's here either. Or here, so we can get rid of that as well. What do we have here? Nothing. I don't think we're here either. Geez. Foam dummy. Wistia Chrome. Wistia Grid. Jeez. Jeez Louise. There we go. We just lost it there. She was somewhere in here. All right, all right. There we go. All right, so that's the preview that has a poster of this GIF. Now that's the blank GIF, and it has this source. Let's see what we have there. We're not going to be able to see that, are we? Probably not. Nope. So it could actually be that that's the preview video itself. In which case, that's interesting. Just I guess with regards to the quality of the preview, rather than having a grainy GIF have the actual video. We've considered doing something very similar to that, and have some mock-ups. I really wouldn't want to dig them out now. But if you feel that this is, from my perspective, it's the same thing as a GIF. But if you feel it's much different than a GIF, then we can definitely discuss it further. Demore is saying yes. Will is saying you guys will soon have to invest into more kind of pages besides the watch page. WooPlayer has too much built into not turn things into virtual events channels or summits registries. Thoughts? My personal thought, and I think nobody in the community necessarily feels this way, is that we are already spread too thin on everything that we offer. The more that we get diversified in offering different sorts of page builders and event schedulers and countdowns to those events and whatever follow-up emails, et cetera, campaigns, the more we are taken away from the core offering, which is hosting and playing videos and adding neat interactions to those videos. So at the current state, Will, I don't believe there is a viable opportunity for us to expand into a I don't see another way of phrasing that, but as a internet marketing platform of some sorts, which I wouldn't even necessarily ClickFunnels of sorts. So that sounds like WooPlayer becoming ClickFunnels, and there's just not enough resources or drive to do that. And as I'm saying, that will definitely take away from the video core aspect of what we're doing. So we are trying to avoid any divergences on along those paths. Dimori is saying, if you play the video, it looks like the first few seconds of the video is looping. Do one thing and do it well, precisely well. Steven, yes, stick to your core. You're doing a great job. Thanks, guys. We definitely why I said I'm hesitant to say that nobody in the community agrees with me is that I see some opportunities along the, for example, channels. Channels are a great way to do videos, but then there is sort of the counter side of that, which is then going to be, all right, well, now we need to think about branding of those channel pages, and then everybody's going to have their thoughts around, hey, I want to brand this, and I want to change the color of that, and I want to have whatever, something pop up on the channel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So trying to organize all of that into something that's going to be viable and we know that's going to draw value is why we're not always rushing to things, while we're always kind of letting things settle for a month or two. When, for example, when Wistia came out with channels, we could have just copied them, but we want to just have it sit there and see how it plays out. And it's, I think, for example, with regards to additional pages, again, I think channels are just glorified playlists, but I definitely see that type of the interface realignment yielding better value both to the viewers and thus ultimately our users. So that's the type of a thing which we would definitely want to do. All right. Dimori is saying, I think the best way to add useful other resources is with integrations. I feel the same way. The second half of 2019 is solely reserved for expanding third-party integrations and capacities for integrations via, not to get too much into it, webhooks and expanding our API capabilities both on the front end on JavaScript API as well as on the back end RESTful API. Rick is saying, will enterprise price be grandfathered to protect against future increases? Enterprise price is always any price, enterprise or startup, any subscription price is always locked in. So, for example, the current price of enterprise currently is $737, whereas people who purchased WooPlayer subscriptions years and years ago, I think back when V3 started, are still paying $97 a month for that subscription. So WooPlayer now, I think, turned 9 a few years ago. A few months ago. And I think people who had those original subscriptions from, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, I think previously it was only a one-time payment model, but as soon as the subscription started, those subscriptions are honored to this day. So if you had WooPlayer Enterprise, then it was called WooPlayer Pro. If you had a WooPlayer Pro subscription then, which was $97, per year, not per month. If you had a subscription which was $97 per year, that's still a locked-in price. So subscription prices are always going to be honored. Lewis is saying, info on fallback code. Fallback code compensates for embedding the player on third-party platforms which may strip or edit the original code, which is recommended to use whenever possible. So should we be looking to always use this? If so, why not make it the default setting? No, you should never be looking to use that. I think the wording might have confused you. Fallback code compensates for embedding the player on third-party platforms, which may strip or edit the original code. So not all third-party platforms, only some third-party platforms will strip or edit the original code. The original code is designed to work in its entirety, whereas the fallback code is a significantly stripped down version of that with less capabilities, such as no abilities to communicate between the page and the player, which is a significant downside of using the fallback code. So hopefully that explains that. If not, maybe read a little bit more about that. I think there's a link from where you copied that. I think there's a link to the article on Docs on that. All right, cool. Any last questions? I think we're going to wrap it up for today. We didn't get to review funnels and the progress on them. We'll do that the following week. Hopefully, you'll join so that we can, as you know, we've taken the initial look at them last week, and we want to continue bringing the progress in front of you guys so that we're aligned on the direction that we're moving in and how to best generate value. So if I don't know if we have this many questions next week as well, maybe I can put together some sort of a video or something up front. So in that case, I can just maybe post it on YouTube or something like that. I'll think of something with regards to sort of demoing the progress on funnels. Either way, I'll definitely do my best to carve some time into the next week's call. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining this week. Hopefully, we'll see you next week, and I wish you a happy and productive remainder of this week. Bye.